and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And the trending topic around all of social media has been Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith finally opening up at the red table, talking about this little entanglement that she had with August Alsina. Now, I feel like this story kind of is late, and normally when I don't jump right on it, I feel like the ship has sailed and I'm on to the next story. People already have the information available and it is what it is. But I've been getting a lot of people still hitting me up saying that they want to know my thoughts on it. So I'm like, you know what? Here I am. Let's do the video. Let's get into it. And my thoughts are that Will Smith is not a victim, but we're going to run through the motions of it. I'm going to react to some of the red table talk with you guys. And then I'm going to bring you guys some information around social media that I've seen and so on and so forth. But I mean, we're all here because August Alsina, he did an interview with Angela Yee. And during his interview, which was a part of his album rollout, and it's like a lot of people in the comments, I've seen them say, well, Angela Yee asked him the questions. We're not going to act like August didn't know the questions that were going to be asked of him. And we're not going to act like that wasn't something that he already had planned to talk about, like, period. So that's just that. So anyway, so the reason why we're here is because August Alsina did an interview and he kind of poured his heart out as to what his life has been like and what he's been going through. And one of the things that he was going through was basically the heartbreak of detaching himself from Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, a lot of people before Jada and Will spoke about it, they were like, I believe August. And then you had the people who did not believe him at all. And then a lot of people felt some type of, smack in the face when Jada came forward and she admitted that she was in fact in an entanglement. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I first heard her say that she was going to bring herself to the red table, I'm like, she gonna be talking in circles. She not really gonna admit nothing. We ain't really gonna get no real tea. But boy, was I wrong. So I'm gonna bring up the red table. I'm going to react to this a little bit, and then I'm going to explain to you why I feel like Will Smith is not a victim in this that people are trying to make him out to be. A lot of people are trying to act like, oh, see, women ain't stuff, women ain't ish, women are wrong, women be cheating, women be doing all this. No, this is a simple case of you was doing you, I decided to do me, and now you acting butthurt about it. But we're gonna get into all of that right now. We're going to get into that right now because I'm tired of people trying to paint Will Smith as this victim, and homie was doing his due too. The only difference is his side piece is in check and on mute, and Jada's side piece is talking. So that's just the only difference. One has a side piece that knows how to stay in their place, and the other has one that really is heartbroken and also using this as a means to roll out an album. But like I said, we're going to get into that. So let me pull up the interview. I have a special guest with me on this topic. I wanted to get a male input on this situation. So I'm going to bring on my guest, King Tantric, and we are going to react to this red table talk, react to some of the stuff that is said. I'm going to be pausing this a lot. Most of you guys have already seen this, so hopefully me pausing it, it should not annoy you because y'all already seen it anyways. But we're going to react to this red table talk and get on into this. King Tantric, you can unmute your mic. We're going to get this red table talk reaction going. Here is the red table talk. And then I'm going to get into why Will ain't no goddamn victim. So let's go. King Tantric, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm with you. What's going on, Nick? What's going on, everybody? Peace.
Okay, so because I need you to react to this as well with me. So we're going to get started. So they come to the red table.
This red table for me, just all the stuff that's going on in the press. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was important to come to the table to really clear the air. Somebody made a statement for me that wasn't a statement I made, that went cray-cray.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to come to the table is the media, the headlines. We specifically never said anything.
Okay, so those of you guys who've seen the headlines, you guys are aware of the headlines. It came out that August said that he was in this, situation with Jada. And there was reports that a rep from Will Smith's side came forward and said that they denied the claims. And a rep from Jada's side came forward and said that she denied the claims, and they acted like, it never happened and that he was lying. So basically what they're saying at this point is we never told our reps to say anything. We never made a statement at all. And because there was statements that were made that were not true, now we have to come forward and, spill the beans with y'all. Basically.
Yes.
We were purposely not saying anything. Any headline that says Jada said or Will said or the Smith said is not true. We specifically never said anything.
Y'all know y'all told their people
so coming to the
say
table
something.
was like we just felt like it got to the point where you guys say something.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all really gonna sit there and act like y'all ain't tell them people to say something? Come on. Like, I feel like they was just buying time, drum up some publicity until they get to the red table. And mind you, this red table talk that they did, it hit record-breaking numbers. It hit like 12 million views within a 24-hour period. And that is the largest viewed video in a Facebook video in that amount of time. So they broke records with this whole red table. So they're not going to make me believe that they didn't know that the person said what they said and they didn't give the authority. Y'all was just buying time until y'all came forward. But go ahead.
And to stop that cycle.
Yeah.
There's people's feelings involved.
Right.
August's feelings involved.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I don't like how all of this came to be. That doesn't matter. It's our love. Honestly. And I would usually not, that would be something I wouldn't comment on at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, August is in his feelings. He's making us look bad. And he's making me look like I done just did him wrong. And normally I wouldn't say nothing, but now, I'm going to speak. Tantric, what do you think? What is your assessment so far?
No, I'm pretty much in agreement. I would just say that I think that more than the monetary, I don't think they were attempting to break records. I think that they were doing damage control. And they consulted their PR people, and the PR people said, listen, we'll take the fall for this because this is not going away. People will believe in August, and we need to kind of clean this thing up and preserve the Smith family image. So I think that was the primary issue and the cause for concern for them to take action and do the red table talk.
Okay,
for Will,
so
I don't even think he wanted to be on the platform. I'm sorry?
For damage control to preserve. But this didn't really help their family image, though.
I think to some degree, it wound up better off than if they didn't do it. Like where they were before the red table talk, with Will just saying you could smash my wife, and like that, and then them like right now they're in the Bahamas. Like there was a report about them going to the Bahamas, so them working on their marriage and showing that they have flaws and all that. People could kind of relate. People been going through different things, in relationships and what have you, and some people are really pulling for them. So I think it did do some good for them.
Okay. All right. Well, let's watch some more.
And I feel like it's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business. Yeah. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
But I feel like it's healing that needs to happen.
basically, we really wasn't gonna let y'all know how we get down, really. But August done opened up his mouth, so therefore we might as well just open up. It's been rumors for years, and we might as well clear the air that we ain't perfect. We put up this front that we have this perfect relationship. We have this perfect unity, and we're just gonna let you guys know, let the cat out the bag, that we are not perfect.
And I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Even though this is minuscule, I do feel like it's these kinds of things that create the world that we're in, and the idea of not communicating, not talking about it, not clearing the air, and just being as transparent. Just being transparent.
And I'm here with you.
Yeah, I thank you for that, because you've been on a hell of a journey with me. So that's what we're.
All right. So I'm trying to skip this ahead a little bit because at this point, we're aware of that. Well, I'm trying to skip this ahead just a smidge.
The thing when Og first came around, he was really sick.
He was.
Okay. So this is where they get into the part where people feel as though Jada pretty much took advantage of him. And a lot of people were painting her out to be the predatory person in this situation, because they're like, you guys are saying that he came to you sick. He came to you broken. He came to you, in a space that was not one that you should have met with a relationship. And so this is where they talk about the state of August. And I find it funny that both of them have a nickname for him. Both of them call him Og. He's their Og. He's not August. He's Og to both of them. So this is them explaining how Og came in the picture.
Really sick, yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Yeah. And I mean, we found all those different resources, to help pull him through. And
basically, and I'm sorry to keep pausing it, but again, y'all done seen this by now. Basically, I thought that we was helping him. I didn't think that you was gonna end up fucking him, but I was doing my thing, so it is what it is. I don't really like it, but I was doing my thing, and it is what it is. What is your assessment so far?
Nah, I completely concur. I think that when you look at Will and you look at the hurt on his face, it's not just hurt in the context of anger or rage. I think it's very subdued because he knows the things that he did that kind of led their marriage and a relationship with bred whatever resentment Jada had in her and whatever depression that led to, that kind of helped motivate her to seek out a romantic relationship with another person.
And not only another person, but somebody that was your kid's age. Like he's older than Jaden and Willow, but like you seeked out a intimate relationship with somebody that is our kid's friend.
Right.
And somebody that was broken, but Will is not no better than her because he was dealing with somebody that was around the same age too. And we're gonna get into that a little bit later.
But hang on though. But what about the fact that Og was actually close to the family? So this is not just some guy you just met in your, out and about. This is a guy who, was around me. Speaking for Will, like this is the guy that was around me, around our children, in our home, and you decide to do it with this particular individual. So there may be some underlying feelings there.
All right, we'll watch a little bit more.
And from there, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we broke up.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy.
Well, at that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over.
We were over.
And then what did you do, Jada?
What did you do in the time that I gave you to figure yourself out? You went and hopped So I'm gonna pause that right there before she gets into her entanglement with Og. Daytime Tea Time is a YouTuber on here, and she covered this story as well. And somebody has sent her a video where he talked about this very moment 2 years ago, where he gave her the space to figure out what she wanted to do and figure out for her to figure out how to love herself and not rely on somebody else to get that love. So I'm going to play that, and then we're going to get into this entanglement that she had with Og.
Okay, I did what I.
Hold up.
Disrespectful.
This is Daytime Tea Time.
Entanglement to the actual.
Wait. I had it queued up. This is so annoying. I hate when I have something queued up and then I go back to it and it's not there. Okay.
One of the biggest revelations that she had about love. She said that you cannot make a person happy. And I thought that was a real deep idea. You can make a person smile, you can make a person feel good, you can make a person laugh, but whether or not a person is happy is deeply and totally and utterly out of your control. I remember the day I retired. I literally said to Jada, that's it. I retire. I retire from trying to make you happy. I need you to go make yourself happy and just prove to me that it's even possible. And after we cracked the hell up, we started talking about, we came into this false romantic concept that somehow when we got married that we would become one. And what we realized is that we were two completely separate people on two completely separate individual journeys, and that we were choosing to walk our separate journeys together. But her happiness was her responsibility, and my happiness was my responsibility. And we decided that we were going to find our individual, internal, private, separate joy. And then we were going to present ourselves to the relationship and to each other already happy, not coming to each other begging with our empty cups out, demanding that she fill my cup, and demanding that she meet my needs. Unfair, and it's kind of unrealistic and can be destructive to place the responsibility for your happiness on anybody other than yourself. Y'all heard what Will Smith had to say.
All right. So that was a snippet from a receipt that Daytime Tea Time had pulled. And this was 2 years ago, around the time that she was messing with August and around the time that they both were on their little separate journeys. And this is him talking about it. And then so at this point of the red table talk, when he's like, we had, said that we were going to go on these separate journeys. What did you do, Jada? And this is her speaking about her entanglement with August.
I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. One thing I want to get clear about, clean up, one of the things that was kind of swirling in the press about you giving permission, which is, the only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yeah.
Period. She like, the only person that could give permission over this pussy is me. What y'all talking about? But what is your assessment so far, King Tantric?
No, I don't agree with that at all. And I think that I don't even know why Will would agree to such a thing. It's like, yo, when you decide to marry a person, you automatically have to understand that you're giving up certain rights, certain freedoms that a single person has. That includes engaging in sexual relations with anyone outside of your partner.
Okay, but he was engaging in relations with somebody else as well.
Yeah, exactly, which is a violation. But see, the argument that women tend to make is, well, he was cheating. It's like two wrongs don't make a right. Like just because he was doing something that was wrong doesn't justify you doing something wrong.
But within the constructs of their relationship, we have to understand that we also are in a new day and era where the constructs of marriage in the beginning times are not the same as now. What worked before for certain people does not work for everybody. So you also have to realize that the idea that you have of marriage does not work for each and every individual. So if their idea is we're going to be life partners, I'm going to be here with you, but I'm gonna do this and you do that. I think more so this is I think that you can do what you do. I just think that he just didn't approve of it being August.
I mean, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know that they have ever agreed. Like they continuously deny having an open relationship. Will is clearly hurt by her having relations with another man. She is clearly hurt by his infidelities and indiscretions. So I don't think that they have an agreement to do this because they're neither one of them is accepting of that particular scenario and they're denying it. I think that they're just cheating on each other, and but regardless of whether they get caught or not, they've already agreed not to divorce.
All right, we'll listen to some more.
That's exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
We both was
And
doing us.
I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not.
I think so. I mean, because this is your red table, and you like brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going.
She's like, I'm trying to beat around the bush. Why you not letting me beat around the bush? I'm not really trying to tell the tea for real, for real. And you over here, Will, trying to push me to tell the tea for real, for real. Basically. Again, sorry for me having to keep pausing it, but I don't need red table talk trying to come for my, come for my commentary. So I do have to pause it in between. King Tantric, what do you think so far?
Yeah, I think Will is trying to get her to take some accountability.
Yeah. All right.
Take our space and what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yeah.
That's what we calling it?
Yes.
A relationship.
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely. I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken. Now, in the process.
So she states that she was in a lot of pain. But then she also states that she was in a place of wanting to heal someone who was in a lot of pain. And so this is where there is conversation swirling around where people feel as though she was predatory because she had the upper hand. But if she says she broken and he was broken too, it's two broken people dealing with each other. Do you think that it was predatory behavior, or what do you think so far?
I don't think it would be predatory behavior because he was in whatever condition he was in and her want help. You could connect to a person helping them. That's not, anything. I don't even think it's predatory behavior based on his age alone. I think what's predatory about what she was doing was she had no intentions of leaving Will. And she kind of got August to commit himself to her only to ultimately go back to her husband. And I think that's where August harbored a lot of resentment and decided to do what he did.
Yeah. All right.
Of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself. And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner. I would definitely say we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that that wasn't possible.
So we come to the red table. So I'm in the Jada position right now. So,
okay.
You during that time launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had.
Okay. So a lot of people had a problem with her stating that she just wanted to feel good. And when I looked around social media, I seen a lot of people saying, if this was a man dealing with a woman and he was married and his excuse to it was, the reason why I did it was because I just wanted to feel good. A lot of people feel as though we would not have the same energy that we have for Jada as we do if it was a man saying that. Now, me being a woman and being a realistic person, whether it's a man or a woman, I can understand how they have been together for so long. They have grew together, and sometimes you often can grow apart. And I can understand them being at a point to where it's like, listen, I'm really not feeling you right now. You're not making me happy. You're not making me feel good. The sex probably ain't even what it is because I don't even like you right now. And I just want to feel good. Like, I just want to have a good time with somebody. I just want to laugh again. I just want to, have that butterfly feeling. We have situations where you deal with somebody and you just want to feel butterflies again. And for me, looking at it from a realistic lens, I don't have a problem with her saying that, but there are men who feel as though what she said was problematic, or it would be problematic if we seen it being a guy who said it. What do you think?
I'm sorry, specifically, what did she say that you're saying is problematic?
People said that her stating the reason why she entangled with August was because she wanted to feel good. I've seen a lot of people saying that that was an issue that we would have if it was a man.
Absolutely. And I think that there's a difference between how men move when they step outside their relationship and how women move. And the way that women do it, in my opinion, is worse. And here's why. A man will do that, but he's not going to develop an emotional connection if he's in a serious relationship. Like he's a girlfriend that's, he's serious about, fiance, wife, or whatever. And he's gonna handle that situation with the girl on the side in a certain kind of way that she knows that she's not gonna take this woman's position. And that's where his value and loyalty lies, is his woman. At least if he's a man, that's trying to preserve that relationship. But women emotionally get connected to the guy they dealing with on the side. And they feel, or you disagree with that part?
I always hate when guys say that, because guys get emotionally connected to girls that they're dealing with as well. So I hate when guys try to make it seem like, is it more likely that a guy just cheats to cheat without any emotional connection?
Yes.
But there are guys who do have emotional connections to these girls, because you have some of the guys who treat the side chick better than they do the main chick. So I hate when guys try to act like every single scenario a guy is only cheating because he's just thinking with his small head and not his big head, and it's no big deal, but the girl is emotionally attached. Like, that goes both ways, I feel like. But go ahead.
Well, I would say this. I'm not speaking in absolutes. We're just speaking in terms of what is typical male behavior, what is typical female behavior. So of course you're going to have outliers. Of course you're going to have anomalies and what have you. But predominantly, men tend to, if they're stepping outside a relationship, but their plan is to be with the woman they're with, they're not going to become emotionally attached to the side piece. And women will tend to do that, where they start getting confused. They don't even know where they want to be anymore. They're willing to, a lot of times run away. Like, the man's going to know if he wants to leave with that side piece, he's leaving. Like, that's just what's going to go happen. It's no confusion. And, it's very disruptive in a relationship when you connect to another person, because now it's not even just the infidelity you got to deal with. You have to deal with your emotional attachment to someone else outside of the relationship.
Okay, we'll listen to some more.
It's been so long since I felt good. Yeah. And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody. Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with my codependency. which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. There's something about.
Okay. So I'm going to pause that there, and then we're just going to jump ahead. She had this entanglement relationship with August. And then they get to a point where Will Smith then later says towards the end, where he says, you know, all that you saying is fine and dandy. All of it sounds good and cute and cuddly and furry, and you know, I understand, but just know that I am going to get that ass back. And then Jada says, well, I think you've already gotten me back, Will, because you've already been doing your damn thing. So I'm going to skip ahead to that part of it.
You know, and I'm just happy because I definitely believe that you and I, we never, ever, ever thought that we would make it back.
Yeah, there's a real power in the just knowing somebody's riding with you no matter what.
Yeah.
And you really can't know that
until you go
through some stuff, you know. I don't want to go through this no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
He like, it's all cool and dandy. I'm riding with you, but bitch, don't do it again. Don't do this shit again. Don't play with me again. Even though, you know, I've been doing what I've been doing.
Yeah. I'm going to get you back first. And then
you're going to get me back. I think you got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. So after this, a lot of people, like I said, they were painting Will as the victim. They're like, oh my God, I'm looking into his eyes. He looks so hurt. He looks so broken. Oh my God, Jada is so wrong. She took advantage of August. She should have never messed with him. Oh my God, Will Smith. Oh my God, Will this. Oh my God, Will that. And to you guys, I say Will Smith is not a victim. So around this same time, there was rumors swirling around, and just because the side chick has not spoken out does not mean that he was not doing his thing. The body language in that interaction tells me just that. Will, you've been doing you, so why are you sitting here trying to act like, you know, it's like this big like heartbreak when you was doing you as well? And I think that when I see that, it's very much guys can dish it. And I had my one of my subscribers, Stevie J, on, and he was talking about his infidelities and his situations with his wife. Guys will cheat on you, they will do you dirty, but as soon as you do them back, they act like it is the end of the world. They act like, oh my God, how could you? I was just playing with them girls. I was going to get right back, very much mentality. Now, if you guys don't remember, there was a lot of rumors around this same time, and you have to listen to what is being said. He said, I was done with you. I felt like I wasn't going to fuck with you no more. She said, I felt like I wasn't going to fuck with you no more. We both went on our separate journeys. She went on her journey with August, and Will Smith went on his journey. Now, there was a lot of people, and my hair is just not going the way that I want it to go. It's irritating me. There was a lot of people who suspected Will Smith to be bisexual. They were saying, you know, they felt like Will Smith was dealing with men. But then there was blogs who picked up Will Smith traveling with a woman by the name of, what is her name? Drum roll, please. Dela Rose or something like that. So an Instagram model who is also a Sports Illustrated model, around this same time, she had dealings with being in the blogs because she was everywhere that Will Smith was. Will Smith was traveling around the world 2 years ago, and he was going to all of these places, and so was she. Every time Will was there, she was there. Their backgrounds would kind of be matching up, and they were together so as well. So that's the only thing that I don't like, and I'm going to read to you guys what this article says. And this article was published December 17th, 2017. And this is the article where it says, fan thinks Will Smith has a side chick because of these receipts. And the receipts showed all of the times that Will Smith was out and about in places around the world, and this girl was also in the same places, same time. And we're going to go through it. So I'm tired of people trying to paint him like he was doing him. And all that happened was he could not take what he was dishing out. She wanted to feel good because you ain't really been fucking with me like that. You ain't really been feeling me. I ain't been feeling you. I'm going to do me, and you have been doing you. You just don't like who I did it with. You don't like the fact that, it was somebody who you felt like, like, oh, this is somebody, like you just don't like. I just think that Will Smith just didn't like who it was with, but he very much knew that it was going to be somebody. So anyways, so this article, it says Will Smith and his actress wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, have managed to tackle feat that most celebs couples cannot. They reached the 20-year marriage mark this year. And this was 2017, and are thankfully still going strong. With that duration of a celebrity marriage comes much drama. And as we all know, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are no strangers to it. They've survived gay rumors, swinger rumors, bisexual rumors, cheating rumors, and now there are more cheating allegations for the legendary duo to tackle. So this was them then pulling up the receipts of Will Smith coming to his Instagram page. So if you guys remember, around 2 years ago, Will Smith finally decided to open up an Instagram account. He's finally decided to take on all of these new adventures. And while he was taking on all of these new adventures, so was this other woman as well. So while Jada was on her journey, Will was on his journey as well. So we're going to go through the receipts. It says, apparently Will Smith's new Instagram page, which he just started a few days ago, is at the center of the re-sparked cheating rumors about him. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, check out the below video to see how TV host Ellen DeGeneres, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that don't got nothing to do with it. Okay, so new allegations against Will involves Sports Illustrated model. So this is the chick right here. Her name is Heidi De La Rosa, and it says, now on to these allegations. According to Famous and many other fans, Will Smith has been making some suspect moves with a 27-year-old Puerto Rican Sports Illustrated model named Heidi De La Rosa. Apparently, Will's Instagram account gave their so-called fling away. Here's what was reported. Via FD early this year, Famous ran a story with receipts about Will Smith's alleged side chick that he has been seeing for some time now. Today, the two followed one another on Instagram, leading us to believe the two are still hooking up. Receipts below. So they showed where Holly De La Rosa followed Will followed her, and they were both following each other. It says, Famous then provided several online posts by Will and Heidi that showed that they were in several different countries at the same time and were also photoed together in some of them. Here are some of the locations provided. So this right here is the Great Sphinx of Giza, and this is her in Egypt, and then this is a photo of Will also in Egypt. So you see Will in front of this, I guess, artifact or whatever you want to call it. And then you also see the girl, Heidi De La Rosa, in front of the same exact thing. So you see her photo right here where she's, kissing the monument or whatever. And then you see Will Smith also saying that he was leaving Cairo, Giza as well. And he has a similar type photo. And it shows that they were together around the same time. So y'all gonna stop trying to act like Will wasn't doing his thing. So they also provided more receipts as well. And it says, and here they are in Tanzania. You can see Will in the safari truck. So you see her posting this photo of them in Tanzania. She's out on this safari, and you can see Will Smith in the damn safari truck. And it says they're in pictures together. She's in the green top with the blue jacket. Then there's Chanel in a pic with Will on this couple's vacay. So, you know, they on this couple's vacay. Will Smith is out. They're in Tanzania. You see her. They're traveling the world doing the damn thing. Then they went on to Phoenix. So they went on to Phoenix, and you see Will Smith post his photos, and then you see her post her photos as well in the same area. You see her posting, you know, she was doing golf. She was at the same golf course as Will, and she was traveling around with him while he was in Phoenix. She was in Phoenix too, around the same time. So then it shows her showing the same scenery. So you see here, Will Smith shows his background and he shows where he is. And then it shows her showing her background, showing where she was at the same time. And then it says, now to finish it off, they're in Cuba. Homegirl is done modeling as long as this relationship carries on. So then it shows where he showed his photos of him in Cuba, and then she showed her photos of her in Cuba around the same time. So this is him, I guess, meeting some Luna boys and at a boxing gym. And then this is her in Havana, Cuba, at the same time that he was in Cuba. So it says, yes, it appears that both Will and the model were in the same countries and same locations at the same time, but this is probably proof that they're sneaking behind Jada's back. The jury is definitely still out on that for me, but what do you think? Whatever. Are folks going too hard on Will, or do those receipts make you give Will the side eye about the alleged side chick? So I show you guys that to say that everybody was trying to make him out to be this heartbroken guy. Oh my God, poor Will. Poor Will was doing the damn thing too. He was out here getting his shit together. The only difference between the two is that his side chick has not spoken out in August. You know, he got an album to roll out. He got an album to drop, and he is spoken out, but they are no different. They were both doing the damn thing together. You had people like 50 Cent. 50 Cent showed his DMs with Will Smith, and then you also had Michael Blackson. And I'm like, are they photoshopping these DMs? I don't know, but I'm gonna show them to you guys, and then I'm gonna get Tantric to weigh in. So 50 Cent showed DMs that were supposed to be between him and Will, and it says, yo, Will, you all right over there? And then Will says, yes, I'm cool. I appreciate your concern, brother. And then 50 Cent says, but why should tell you that ish on the on a show for everybody to see? And then Will says, we broke up, so she did her and I did me. Meaning I was cheating too. She was cheating, I was cheating. She was doing her, I was doing me. We both was doing the damn thing together. Period. And then it says, then she said she gave then she said only she can give permission for somebody to blow her back out. And then Will Smith responds and says, F you 50, and ends the conversation. So he clearly stated, you know, to 50 Cent, like, listen, she was free to do her because she was doing her and I was doing me as well. Then Michael Blackson came forward and he also revealed DMs between the two. And in the DMs that he showed, he said, yo, my nigga, Fresh Prince, you okay? And then Will Smith says, yes, I'm cool. I appreciate your concern, my African Philly brother. And then he says, just making sure you didn't go back to drinking like you did in Hancock. And then Will Smith says, we broke up, so she did her and I did me. Meaning, you know, I was traveling around with my little model Honey Dip while she was around trying to heal broken August. And then it says, I had a feeling you cried when you got in the house because entanglement sounds like they did some freaky shit, my brother. And then Will Smith says, what the F you mean? And then he says, well, entanglement is like a compromising and complicated position. I think he ate her ass from the front. And then Will Smith says, I'm blocking you now. So I say all that to say that, you know, Will Smith is no victim in this story. Will Smith was doing him just like Jada was doing her. They both were fucking around on each other. And a lot of people, when they speak about this, they speak in the ideal of a traditional marriage. If that works for their marriage, if they have come to the terms like, listen, if we come to this bump in the road, I'm going to do me, you're going to do you, but we still going to be life partners, that's what works for them. A lot of people try to cast what they view a marriage to be as what it should be. And I look at it as, if that's how y'all get down, that's how y'all get down. I'm not going to police how y'all get down, period. Like, if that's what's worked for you, that's what worked for you. Tantrum, what do you think?
Well, I mean, you've made very compelling arguments, but I'm definitely gonna have to disagree in certain areas. So
Okay.
first, I will say this: hurt people, and victims become victimizers. So yes, Will is a victim and a victimizer, and Jada is a victim as well as a victimizer. They both harmed and hurt each other. I will also say that there is another significant difference between Will and his side piece and Jada and her side piece, other than one coming out and the other not. That I think is kind of important to point out, which is with Will's side piece, he made sure that he wasn't flossing her, that he wasn't openly out dating her, so much to the point that the media had to speculate. Jada, on the other hand, was very disrespectful with it. Like, she was just on red carpets, hugged up with the guy, and just, it's like, yo, you're sleeping with this man, and you're putting him on Front Street when you're rocking a wedding ring and carrying another man's name. You know that you're still married to, and presenting to the public that you're still together with. So that was real sloppy on her part. I don't think Will was so much better. I think, you know what I mean, the fact that he didn't really understand social media or wasn't careful enough. Like, if you're gonna cheat and you value your relationship, let me give y'all some good game and some advice. If you're gonna cheat and you value your relationship, then you should be taking every precaution possible that your partner don't find out. Not just because you're selfish and you don't want to get caught for your own selfish reasons, but because you don't want to hurt that person. Not just because you don't want to lose them, but you can't control whatever you're gonna do. This is who you are, but whatever, you should at least have enough love and respect for that person that you will do everything in your power not to hurt them in your actions. So that's just my take on it. Obviously, cheating is wrong, and you shouldn't do it. And I encourage everybody to return to the values of our grandparents, our grandparents, and our ancestors, because that's when we had communities and families. And this is why we splitting up, because we justify cheating on the other person because the other person cheated, instead of walking away and building a more healthy relationship or fixing the relationship or marriage that you're in. So that's my take on it.
So your take is, instead of doing you and doing her, fix your problem and don't cheat, or
leave the relationship. Move on.
Okay, but aren't you a person who believes in polygamy?
Me personally, yes, I do. But I don't think
that be something along slightly the parameters of polygamy.
No, polygamy from the context of a religious standpoint is governed by laws. So it's not like you just do whatever you want to do. There's a system in place. Like, a man who's broke, for example, cannot be polygamous. He can't get a second wife if you can't afford to have a second wife. You can't diminish your wife's life to bring another woman into the house. And there's different rules. Like, you can't sleep in the same bed. There's various different, requirements in terms of polygamy. Whereas if you just have an open relationship, or you're practicing, we can have side pieces. It's not the same.
Okay. So, as far as Jada and Will, you think that it's better because it makes a difference because she was proud out with it, and you sympathize with him more because he was more careful? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying the methodology that she utilized. It was very careless. It was very reckless. That's what led to the need for that red table talk. That's what led the way that Jada handled the August situation by not telling him, hey, I'm not leaving my husband. Like, me and him going through whatever, I'm going to stay married to this man. And, you know, I'm going to stay connected to him in that way. Publicly, I'm with him. She didn't really groom that situation properly. And so you kind of leading him on that he's going to be
But how
more
do
than what
we
he
know?
is.
Because I've seen situations where a person will tell you verbally, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and this is what it's going to be. However, their actions show you something different. So how do we know that Jada did not tell him that she wasn't leaving Will? I think that she could have very well told him that, but he came to a point in the relationship where he felt like, you keep telling me that you're not going to leave him, but you're telling me how unhappy you are. So I don't understand the correlation. We don't know if she told him that. I think she probably did tell him that I'm not leaving Will, but he thought that he could change that. A lot of times these people think that they can change your mind into what you're going to do. And you tell them like, listen, I'm not going to leave my man. But, you know, they think that they can change. How do we know that she didn't tell him that she wasn't going to leave Will? He just probably felt like, I'm pouncing you around. Why we just can't be out?
I mean, that's a possibility. But again, he's talking about, I love you, this and the third. You know, I love you too, but you know I'm not leaving my marriage. Like, she could have definitely reinforced it in his mind. Perhaps she made attempts, maybe not. But either way, she was definitely like, all right.
Your phone going in and out. So we lost King Tantric. But my whole thing is, go ahead. You I kind of lost
Yeah,
you
you can hear me now? All
yeah,
right,
go
so
ahead.
Like, you could say that she wasn't she could have been direct. Maybe she was telling him she's not gonna leave her husband. But in her actions, she's taking photos publicly with this man, knowing she's going home to sleep with him. You see what I'm
But we
saying?
also have to consider that they both decided that they were over at that point as well.
Well, again, I'm not criticizing her and saying that that you know. Well, first off, Will cheating doesn't absolve her, but I'm not trying to say that she's worse than Will. They both cheated. I'm not attributing a value to either one. I'm not quantifying it. But what I'm saying is how she did it is what put them in the position that they're in. See, Will could sit across the red table and his dirty laundry not being aired. Why? Because he moved differently in the scenario. We already knew, everybody knew that August was smashing. Like, we all knew. That's why we believed August. That's why she had to go on the red table. Because we knew, we see in the pictures, we see how he's holding her. Like, yo, come on, man. We see how y'all talk about each other. We see how, the way you talk about August was very similar to the way you talk about Pac. You know what I'm saying? In terms of a man outside of your husband and lover that you're talking so affectionately about. She was reckless.
But she claimed that she never had a sexual relationship with Pac.
I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? Women do that all the time too. That's a whole other story. They'll deny guys that they've been with or whatever have you. That's not neither here nor there. Obviously, Jada is not somebody who's going to take accountability. She's not very direct. We've seen that on the Red Table Talk. She can be deceptive with her words.
Right. So, do you think that she took advantage of August?
Yes, I do. She took advantage of August to make herself feel good about herself. And then when she realized that wasn't working, he became disposable.
But she said that he was the one who cut off communication with her. She said that she was surprised that he was even taking it there or talking about this because she reached out to him and he was the one who was like, I'm not talking to you. And if you look at his song, Nunya, in the screenshots or the text messages that he showed, and the thing is showed that she asking him about like who you talking to, what girls you talking to or whatever. And he was the one that kind of was like,
because he realized he was manipulating him. Like, you all worried about who I'm talking to, what I'm doing, but you over there with your husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? You not, and you see my feelings are strong for you, whatever. You see that I'm really trying to be something more. And he realizes that that's not possible. That she's not going to give him that. And so He do what anybody would do in that situation, with some type of self-esteem. He walked away. But I think that she was leading them on. I think that the game went on too long, and he was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna waste no more time with it." He talked about how he committed years to that situation, and there was nothing fruitful out of that situation in terms of something tangible. You know, what I'm saying, he's sneaking around in the shadows with her. Can't even be open about the woman that he loves.
So what do you think about the people who feel like August knew what he was getting into? He knew she was married, and people who feel like he was not taken advantage of?
Well, I would say that speaks to his youth and naivety. I think somebody in the conversation might have mentioned just how many years Jada has on him. So she knew from the very beginning that this wasn't going to be a situation that was going to be something serious. But for him, you could be 20 something, but once you made a certain amount of money, you acquire a certain amount of things, you feel like you're a man, but you still haven't gone through the trials and tribulations that form you into a man. Being a man is not a biological thing. It doesn't happen at a certain stage or age. It comes over time through experience, So it might be, for some men, it might be 27, it might be 35, it might be 40, But he clearly wasn't developmentally at that stage, because you dealing with a woman that's married and not leaving her husband. He should have known not to catch feelings. But through not being inexperienced, he wasn't in control of his emotions. He got caught up.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, that's just that on that. I just wanted to have a male input on this topic. I think that, like I said before, Will is no victim. Jada is no victim in August airing it out. I mean, was he right to air it out? Was he right to tell his side? I mean, that's up to you guys. A lot of people feel like, he had no business airing it out. He had no business speaking on it. And I mean, hey, that's just up to the person. I think that you run the risk of somebody speaking when you do deal with certain people, especially somebody that you admittedly say was a broken person, and you admittedly say that they were in this dark place. You never know what they might do or what an attachment and detachment would have. This is a person who lost his brother, lost his sister, lost, people around him, and he has, these severe close relationships detached from him. You don't know how erratic, he's going to be in that situation. So you guys let me know what you think of this in the comment section. What do you guys think as far as Jada being a predator? I don't believe that she was a predator because he's a grown-ass man, but I do see where people say, as far as, because a lot of people were saying she was a predator because of the age gap. I'm not going to say that she's a predator in that sense. But there was a lot of people who felt some type of way in terms of the state that he was in. So what do you guys feel about the state that he was in and where Jada was in her situation? So him being broken, hurt, he had his sickness going on and all those things, and her engaging in a relationship with him at that point. What do you think about Will being a victim? Because again, a lot of people painted Will to be a victim. What do you think about the dynamic that this will mean going forward? A lot of people also looked at it and felt like they were lying, and they were like, y'all need to just admit that you're swingers. And a lot of people felt like they were lying in terms of the Red Table Talk also. Like, there was people who looked at it and they were like, they're putting on a show and they're acting as if they weren't swingers all along. And to me, I kind of looked at that and I kind of like, some of those people do have a point, because it's like, Will, you was doing your thing too, and y'all trying to act one way. So what do you guys think overall about August Alsina airing it out to begin with? Them coming forward, her saying that she was in an entanglement. And what do you think about her as far as, was August wrong? Was she wrong? Because again, you have the people who say August knew that she was a married woman. He had no business dealing with a married woman. And then you have all of these different outlooks. So I want to know what you think, what your outlook is on it down below. Also, be sure to hit up neekatnight.com. My website is right here. You can check out all of my pajamas, all of my quarantine and chill needs. You can check it out on my website. And I'll see you guys on the next video. I want to thank King Tantric for coming on. Is there any final things you wanted to say?
Yeah, just make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out and hit that subscribe button, man. Stay tuned.
Right.
Peace and love, y'all.
All right, guys.